Welcome to Chapter 3 of our series, From Chaos to First $1,000 Paid Off. In today's episode, titled, Pick the Right Payoff Method, Snowball versus Avalanche Explained, we're going to unpack the different strategies you can use to tackle your debt, including the Snowball, Avalanche, Hybrid, and Consolidation methods. So, if you're ready to take control of your finances and find the best approach for you, let's dive in. Right now, two people with the same debt and income can make the same payments, and one will still pay interest for months longer. The difference isn't willpower or luck, it's the payoff method they chose. Today, we're pulling apart why that tiny choice changes everything. Here's the twist. The right way to attack your debt isn't just about math, it's about knowing your own psychology. Two people can use the exact same numbers, but if one constantly needs little wins to stay engaged, while the other is fine grinding toward a big payoff, the best strategy for each will look very different. That's why you'll see heated arguments online. One camp swears by the emotional boost of wiping out a smaller balance, the other can't stand leaving extra interest on the table. In this episode, we'll zoom out from formulas and look at how motivation, stress levels, cash flow swings, and even your credit report can tilt the scales. Think of it like a doctor choosing between two effective treatments. The best one is the one you can actually stick with long enough to work. Here's where it gets interesting. When researchers looked at real people paying off real balances, they found that those using a smallest balance first approach were more likely to actually finish, even though it wasn't the cheapest on paper. That tells us something uncomfortable. The neatest spreadsheet isn't always the smartest move for your real life. In practice, you'll be juggling late fees, promo rates expiring, balance transfer offers, and maybe a consolidation loan pitched as a cure-all. Each of those can tilt the scales toward one method, or a hybrid, without you even noticing. Here's how the two main methods actually behave once you're in the middle of them. With Avalanche, you rank everything by interest rate and throw every extra dollar at the top rate. On paper, it's elegant. You're cutting off the most expensive bleeding first. Using a $10,000 example across 4 cards at 22% APR, with $500 extra per month, simulations show Avalanche can finish about 2 months faster than Snowball and save around $1,200 in interest. The trade-off is psychological. Your biggest rate balance might also be your largest, so it can feel like pushing on a locked door for months before you see a zero. Snowball flips the order. Smallest balances first, regardless of rate. The math is slightly less efficient, but that Northwestern Kellogg study found people using this style were significantly more likely to finish. Those quick wins create a feedback loop. You prove to yourself the plan is working, so you keep feeding it. And as you clear lines of credit, your minimum payments shrink, which can free up cash flow flexibility even before you're debt-free. In real life, most people don't run a pure version of either one. They use hybrids. A common pattern. 1. List your debts by balance and rate. 2. Circle any tiny balances, say under $300, and any brutally high rates, say over 25%. 3. Knock out 1 or 2 tiny ones Snowball style to grab momentum. 4. Then pivot. Pour the freed up cash into the highest rate account and stay there until it's gone. Consolidation adds another layer. If you move several balances into a single personal loan or 0% transfer, you've changed the shape of your problem. Now you might only have 2 debts on your worksheet, the new loan, and maybe 1 leftover card. The key questions become, what fee did you pay to get this? What happens to the rate if you're late once? A 3 to 5% transfer fee on $10,000 is $300 to $500 gone on day 1. One missed payment on a conditional low-rate loan can erase all that benefit. So instead of asking, which method is best, ask 3 sharper questions. How much extra interest am I realistically willing to pay for more motivation? How stable is my income over the next 12 to 24 months? Where could one mistake, a missed payment, a maxed out card blow up this plan? Your answers point to your mix of Snowball, Avalanche, or Consolidation, not theory. Think of two friends starting the same debt season with $10,000 total owed. Alex hates seeing lots of open accounts, so chooses a hybrid, wipes out two tiny store cards first, then channels those freed minimums into a brutal 27% card. Jamie is fine with slower visible progress and runs a strict rate order plan, but also calls each lender once to ask for a rate reduction. One says yes, trimming a full percentage point and quietly speeding things up. New twist: a third friend, Riley, gets a balance transfer offer. Instead of jumping, Riley lines it up with a work bonus that's coming in 4 months. The plan: keep chipping away for now, transfer only what can be cleared during the promo, and leave older accounts open but unused to help overall utilization. Now contrast that with Sam, whose income is unpredictable. Rather than overcommitting, Sam keeps minimums low, builds a 1-month buffer first, then dials in extra payments only after each good month closes. Same methods, 4 very different executions, because the context is different. Rising rates and shifting rules could quietly rewrite your plan midstream. An app might nudge you from one sequence to another the way a GPS reroutes when traffic appears. Not because your first choice was wrong, but because conditions changed. If BNPL or card pricing gets tighter, leftover balances may cluster in fewer places, making order less obvious and trade-offs sharper. The opportunity is to treat your strategy as a living draft, updated whenever the weather report of your money changes. Treat this like tuning a radio. Slight adjustments can clear the static without changing the song. As your income, bills, or goals shift, nudge your order, your extra payment amount, or even your due dates. Over time, those tiny course corrections add up. Your challenge this week: update your payoff order once using today's numbers, not last year's. This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!